welcome to India's Champs Olympics 2021 on Your Shot. In this episode, we bring to you the story of the country's latest badminton sensation, PV Sindhu, who has won a bronze for India at the Tokyo Olympics in women's singles.
Once again, trying to lift that one towards the baseline, return by Sindhu. Sindhu smashes this time, and look at that, near the cross, a half smash, cross court, and PV Sindhu has won the second medal for India at the Tokyo Olympics, getting a bronze medal here, outclassing a Chinese opponent, Yibing Jia in straight games.
भारत ने इस समय कांस्य पदक जीतकर जहां दूसरे पदक के लिए एक आशाएं जगा दी थी, उस पर अपना नाम रख दिया है, अंकित कर दिया है। कोरियन कोच जितने उत्साहित लगे, मुझे लगता है सिंधु से ज्यादा खुशी उन्हें हुई है। उछल पड़े थे, मुट्ठियां भींच रहे थे, इतना मैंने किसी कोच को आह्लादित होते हुए नहीं देखा है। बेहतरीन बधाई की पात्र है भारत की पीवी सिंधु।
When Pusarla Venkata Sindhu left the East Asians and Southeast Asians behind and won a historic silver for India in badminton at the Rio de Janeiro Olympics in 2016, she was just 21 years old. At 21, lesser mortals would be at crossroads wondering what to do in life. Not Sindhu. She was sorted from an even earlier age. Sindhu crossed swords with China's Yibing Jia of bronze at the ongoing Tokyo Olympics after she was edged out by her old rival Tai Tzu Ying of Chinese Taipei in the women's singles semi-final. Sindhu had beaten Tai on her way to Olympic silver 5 years back, but Tai had beaten Sindhu 13 times and lost only 5 times going into the Olympic semi-final. Sindhu was widely expected to win gold, especially considering her rich vein of form in Tokyo, and even her coach Puella Gopichand was hopeful of Sindhu striking gold. However, even if gold or silver did not materialize, an Olympic medal is an Olympic medal, and Sindhu's win here sees her emulate wrestler Sushil Kumar as a double Olympic individual medalist and India's most decorated individual athlete at the showpiece event. For a country that has won only a handful of medals over 121 years of participation at the Olympics, every medal is like gold dust and a cause for celebration. Sindhu was inspired by Gopi Chand winning the prestigious All England Open Badminton Championship in 2001 and wanted to make it big in badminton. Gopi Chand's victory in a tournament that is considered no less than an Olympic or World Championship in the badminton circuit rejuvenated Indian badminton, which has been meandering along aimlessly. Prakash Padukone had become the first Indian to win the All England crown in 1980. Since then, there was a long drought of major crowns for Indian badminton until Gopi Chand's All England triumph. Gopi Chand would later bring Sindhu under his wing and play a major role in her success at the Rio Olympics and BWF Tour finals. By the age of 8, Sindhu had taken to badminton. She got her initial training under the late Mehboob Ali at the Indian Railway Institute of Signal Engineering and Telecommunications, Secunderabad. Ali counted as his students Saina Nehwal, Jwala Gupta and Shruti Kurian as well. Sindhu subsequently joined Gopi Chand in Hyderabad. She bagged her first gold in the under-14 category of the 51st National School Games. She won medals at the Commonwealth Youth Games and Asian Junior Championships as well. What made Sindhu different as a trainee was her passion for the sport that saw her travelling a total of 60 kilometers every day to reach her training centre. And she would start working on her game under the guidance of her coach right from 4:15 in the morning every day. I used to travel 30 kilometers to come and play here. Dropping me to morning practice and then to school and then again for evening practice was my father's routine for more than 4 years before we shifted from Secunderabad. The Hindustan Times quoted Sindhu as saying, "In 2010, I came back from the Asian Games. Sindhu barely managed to win the sub-junior nationals. I realized I was not really focusing much on her. I asked her to turn up at 4:15 a.m. so I get an hour with her," Gopi Chand said. Gopi Chand loved to teach, Sindhu loved to learn. They were a perfect team, much like Dronacharya and Arjuna from the epic Mahabharata. Fittingly, Gopi Chand received the Dronacharya Award in 2009. Sindhu was conferred the Arjuna Award in 2013. She's also a recipient of India's highest sports award, the Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna, and the country's 4th civilian honour, Padma Shri. Sindhu's father, P.V. Ramana, is a former volleyball player of considerable repute. He was part of the Indian team that won bronze in volleyball in the 1986 Asian Games and is an Arjuna awardee in his own right. Sindhu's mother P. Vijaya played volleyball at the professional level too. The contributions made by Sindhu's parents to make her the player that she is today have been unforgettable. Ramana never imposed anything on his daughter and let her choose her career freely. Sindhu was so passionate about badminton that she would cry every time she missed practice, and so Ramana decided to shift base closer to Sindhu's training center. Apart from cutting down on the chance of missing training, it also ensured that Sindhu would not get too exhausted in travel and could focus wholeheartedly on her game. Sindhu's Rio medal was a result of 6 years of hard work under Gopi Chand. At Gopi Chand's academy, students had to follow strict discipline. They did not venture out in the evenings. Late-night jaunts were totally out of the question as they had to get ready for the first shift that started at 4 in the morning. The pupils had no access to the internet and mobile phones were allowed only on Sundays. Common areas of the academy were under CCTV surveillance. Sindhu stayed away from her favorite sweet, Hyderabadi biryani chocolates, in order to stay fit. It is a decision that she had taken willingly. She was never forced into it. Unlike many others, Sindhu was extremely mindful of what it takes to be an elite athlete. Sindhu's many medals are right there for everybody to see. However, more than what can be seen from the outside, Sindhu's biggest contribution to Indian badminton is perhaps at a symbolic level. Sindhu, along with Saina Nehwal, has helped in dispelling the fear of the East Asians and Southeast Asians. And today, an India shuttler belongs to the same league as players like Ta Tzu-ying, Akane Yamaguchi, Nozomi Okuhara, Sang Ji-hyun, and Lee Xuri. She plays them regularly and more than holds her own against them. This could not be imagined even a decade back. Indians were considered to be no-hopers at the highest stage in badminton against the East and Southeast Asians, as in table tennis. From there, to make India a strong medal contender every time the country is represented at major badminton events now would have taken a lot of doing. In fact, as a result of Sindhu and Saina's brilliance, the Chinese, Japanese and Chinese Taipei players have become household names in India. They are no longer players from a different planet, with names that we can't even pronounce. It is similar to the way many Indians started to take interest in Formula One car racing after Narayan Karthikeyan became a part of it. Among Sindhu's biggest feats, apart from her Olympic successes, are World Championship gold in 2019, silvers in 2017 and 2018, and bronze medals in 2013 and 2014. She has a silver and a bronze at the Asian Games and a gold, a silver and a bronze at the Commonwealth Games. At the All England Championships, her best result was a semi-final finish in 2018. Sindhu had consistently reached the finals of major events since her Olympic triumph and attended a career best ranking of world number 2 in 2017. She had broken into the top 20 of the world rankings in 2012. Her epic summit clash at the World Championships in 2017, in which she engaged the eventual winner, Nozomi Okuhara, for 110 long minutes, established herself firmly in the big league despite the final loss. Sindhu had a poor string of results for about 2 years in the run-up to the Olympics in Tokyo. She moved to England to train at the Gatorade Sports Science Institute, also known as GSSI, and then returned to India to train at Telangana's Gachibowli Stadium under South Korean coach Park Tae-sang. Her practice was not happening properly here. After the 2018 Asian Games, Gopi didn't take interest in her training. He didn't provide a proper practice partner to train with her. She was not having enough quality practice and was fed up with the treatment. Sindhu's father told PTI. There were reports that Sindhu had fallen out with her parents and coach Gopi Chand. When the camp for Olympic probables was halted in August last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Sindhu's father wanted her to do her training under Park at a separate facility. Gopi, being the national coach, cannot focus on Sindhu alone. We'll request to have Sindhu's sessions with Park at Suchitra Academy, Ramana said. Sindhu subsequently scorched rumours of a rift with Gopi Chand and talks of her falling out with her parents. I came to London a few days back to work on my nutrition and recovery needs with GSSI. In fact, I have come here with the consent of my parents and absolutely, there were no family rifts in this regard. Why will I have problems with my parents who have sacrificed their lives for my sake? Mine is a very close-knitted family and they will always support me. I'm in touch with my family members every day. Also, I do not have any issues with my coach Mr. Gopi Chand or the training facilities at the academy, Sindhu wrote on social media. Sindhu, however, said that she was prepared and would not miss Gopi Chand in Tokyo, adding that she had been training for 5-6 hours under Park and trainer Suchitra, according to a report in The Outlook. She clarified that her Gachibowli move was to get a feel of the playing conditions expected at the Tokyo Olympics and not a result of discord with Gopi Chand. Like many co-athletes, Sindhu has also spoken about mental health issues. She had a stress fracture in 2015 and was out of action for 6 months in the run-up to qualification for the Rio Olympics. It nearly drove her into depression. I had pain but didn't tell anyone. I was bearing that pain and then told my dad that there was pain, and we went to took an X-ray and a stress fracture was revealed. It was really bad, Sindhu said during an online session. Let the bird fly. Moving on with badminton. Her mental fortitude has also been criticized for faltering at the final of several major tournaments, even after being in favorable positions. I have lost matches where I'm leading. I know physically and mentally at times when you lose such matches, it hits you. But we have to come back stronger to ensure that it doesn't happen again. News agency PTI quoted Sindhu as saying, I have been working on my mental game. My coaches have been telling me, because sometimes I find when I hit out or tap to the net, when you actually have to get points, I lose confidence and get nervous. So they tell me, let it be, it's over. I've been practicing that and I think I'm getting better, Sindhu added. Following her second group stage match at the ongoing Olympics, the ace shuttler said, mental health is very important for athletes, referring to the issue around legendary gymnast Simone Biles, who dropped out of the competition to focus on her mental health issues. Sindhu said she was in a very good space physically and mentally, and meditation and painting had helped her in calming herself, especially in the wake of the uncertainty brought by the COVID-19 pandemic. She said that the pandemic-enforced break made her a better player as she found time to fine-tune her skills. She regularly does yoga and pranayama to stay fit. She is an early riser and her routine starts at 3:30 a.m. every day. Her diet is rich in proteins and totally bereft of sugar. Sindhu is also a fashionista and impressed one and all at Shreya Bhopal's first solo show in Hyderabad in 2019. The badminton champion now could well become an IAS officer. In 2017, she took charge as a deputy collector under the Andhra Pradesh government, joining duty in the Office of Chief Commissioner of Land Administration (CCLA) at Golapudi on the outskirts of Vijayawada. The then Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, N. Chandrababu Naidu, had personally handed Sindhu her appointment letter. Sindhu assured that she would do justice to her job and said she wanted to serve people. Official sources said that she had to undergo training according to the government rules and had to execute a bond stating that she would serve the government for 3 years after the completion of training. She would have been eligible for the conferment of the Indian Administrative Service (IAS) cadre by the Union Public Service Commission within 9 years. Naidu had offered Sindhu a Group 1 rank officer's job following her return from Rio. The Andhra Pradesh government also gave her 3 crore rupees as a cash prize and 1,000 square yard residential plot in Amravati. One of India's 2 most decorated individual athletes, Sindhu has walked a path different to her fellow double Olympic individual medalist, the disgraced Sushil Kumar. Sindhu has the world at her feet. She is truly the nation's pride. This was our presentation on PV Sindhu. Stay tuned to Earshot on www.earshot.in for amazing stories on India's champs at Olympic 2021. Thank you.
Earshot, here and now.